Nanaimo has made a top 10 list. According to the Canadian Dog Annual 2015, Nanaimo ranks third in the top 10 most pet-friendliest cities in all of Canada.
Well, what a wonderful honor, and Nanaimo is a wonderful place to own a dog also. I have a couple of dogs, and we've got beaches and we've got off-leash parks and some great hiking trails.
I've lived in 3 or 4 different cities in the country, and this is probably the best dog park I've ever been to. So being fenced in, having the little double gates, the big dog, small dog, the pickup bags, so it's a good facility.
People just seem more accepting of dogs here than maybe the Lower Mainland.
We have quite a few pet-friendly parks around.
Some are difficult to get to though.
I would say with the little pit bull laws and stuff like that, that's not the friendliest place.
Some of the criteria used to rank Nanaimo so highly was the number of veterinary clinics we have, the number of pet food and supply stores, pet sitters and trainers, and of course the number of off-leash dog parks, which we have 11 to be exact, and 12 if you count Gallows Point on Protection Island. But what would make Nanaimo even more pet-friendly?
Not that I can think of. They do a great job now.
Have an area by a lake or the ocean that would be off-leash only for our dogs because they all love to swim.
At this park we don't have water after October, I believe it is, until early spring, so that could be the only improvement we could have.
My daughter has a Staffordshire Terrier, and the rules are pretty strict on things like that, and so it's hard to say.
Based entirely on how a dog looks, there are restrictions to ownership, and it's been shown that breed-specific legislation doesn't protect the community and it doesn't reduce dog bites, so we need to look at that. Also, we don't have any bylaws around how long your dog could be tied up in the backyard, or whether it can be left in a hot car, or whether it has to have shelter and food. So these kind of things we need to really look at to be truly dog-friendly. And of course, we're talking about the pet-friendliest city, so we got to think of all animals. And right now, we really have to concentrate on cats. Cats in Nanaimo, we do have a cat population crisis. They are everywhere. There's no spay-neuter requirements for ownership of a cat. There's no limits on numbers that you can have, and there's no licensing program, which is shown again and again across the world can help to get cats back home. Only 11% of cats in BC, when they become stray, actually make their way back home, compared to over 70% of dogs because they're licensed and they're ID'd and they're tagged. So whilst I think Nanaimo is a wonderful city to have a dog, I think we need to look at everything when we have pets. Cats, dogs, bylaws to protect them while they're here, because they can go and have fun, but we need some protection. Having said that, Council are looking at all of these options right now, and I am really hopeful and confident by this time next year, fingers crossed, we might be the #1 pet-friendliest city in Canada.
Having done stories with the numerous different rescue groups, both cats and dogs, I can tell you that there's far too many neglected animals and need for rescuing. But I can also tell you that there's a lot of volunteers and great people helping the animals in our community, even opening up their homes and fostering. And those are the people that make it the most pet-friendliest city for me. In Nanaimo, I'm Kelly Robinson.